Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. Now today I'm going to be talking about the Americas League playoffs. This was a bit of... There were some surprises, we'll say that. There was some pretty big surprises in this playoffs, to say the least. But let's now first talk about the teams. Obviously, just a little quick recap for the teams who were in the playoffs of the Americas League. That included Cloud9, Loud, Evil Geniuses, Leviathan, Furia, and NRG. Oh, yeah, NRG Esports. Let's first start with Furia winning against Leviathan. This kind of showed me that Leviathan, they were falling off a bit. I mean, they were on a bit of a decline late into the season, and they just kind of fell off really. I mean, I feel really bad for King. He tried his best. He popped off in this match. It just really wasn't enough. I mean, like MW0, he was showing me some flashes from when he was like one of the best Brazilian players. Khalil, he also did a great job as well. But it just wasn't enough for Leviathan though, which really sucks. 13-5 on Ascent for Furia, 20-18 on Pearl. And I just want to say this is the first time I'm actually seeing all these maps, and that, Jesus Christ, okay. And 13-6 on Bind for Furia. So, Pearl was really close. Ascent and Bind, not really too close. Performance-wise, there was a bunch of 4Ks, 4 4Ks from the side of Leviathan, 2 from Takalila, and 1 each from Azino and King. There was also one 4K as well from Quick, and 2 1v3 wins from Khalil and Mazin. NRG now losing to Evil Geniuses. Yeah, Evil Geniuses. Demon 1, that bold buff actually worked. Obviously, I'm pretty sure after the last match of the regular season, there was a segment I'm pretty sure on the show that Demon 1 was going bold. He went bold, and the bold buff worked. He destroyed NRG. Plus 29 KD ratio. What more do I really have to say? I guess having Demon 1 in the lineup is good, but it doesn't really matter because Demon 1 can't go to Tokyo. Maybe wondering why? Because of visa issues. Pretty sure because Demon 1 was signed pretty late into the season. Basically visa as a whole coming to Japan is a pain in the ass. And obviously Riot and EG, they don't really have any time to scramble to get a visa approved for Demon 1 because it takes a while to have those visas approved. So it sucks, especially for EG. So they're probably gonna have BCJ back in the lineup or maybe reformed. I'm not too sure. But yeah, it just sucks for EG because if they actually had Demon 1 in the lineup, I think they would maybe have a good chance of maybe even making it to the playoffs. But now with that Demon 1, I'm not really too sure. I'm a bit skeptical on it. Either way, Haven 13-11 went to NRG. No really surprising there. Split 13-15 went to Evil Geniuses. And then 13-7 on Ascent went to Evil Geniuses. So Split and Haven were pretty close. Ascent, not really that close, but Demon 1, he popped off. Bunch of 4Ks though. 4 4Ks for the side of NRG. 2 from Artis, 1 from Victor and Som. And 2 4Ks from Jolkimo and Demon 1 respectively. Well, I should say 1 4K for Jolkimo and Demon 1. And even a 1v3 clutch as well from Victor. Loud versus Furia. I'm not surprised about this at all. A 2-0 victory for Loud. No surprise at all. Loud is obviously the best Brazilian team. Don't think I really need to say anything. Lassie popped off. Kaunzin popped off. 13-4 on Haven. Slaughterfest. 13-5 on Ascent. Slaughterfest. Very quick game. Tuzzy and Aspas, both of them getting aces. I don't know what else to say other than let's move on to Cloud9 versus Evil Geniuses. And yeah, this locked EG into Tokyo. Obviously along with Loud. Yeah, I was pretty surprised about this one. Cloud9, they just didn't look like themselves. Joel Gimo, he had a game of his life here. and team. Well, actually, no, Boostio. Boostio had the game of his life. He popped off. I'm pretty sure on Bind even, he popped off against Cloud9. 13-5 on Fracture for side of EG and 13-2 on Bind for side of EG. Like, it was a slaughterfest. And even Rooney, obviously the IGL for the team, could not even handle EG. Performance-wise, it was a 2 4Ks for side of for the side of Evil Geniuses, one from Boostio and Demon 1, and even 1v2. Well, one 1v2 clutch win from Jake, and one as well from Ethan for the side of EG. Fury versus NRG. Not surprised about this one at all. NRG, they 2-0 Furia. No surprise here. NRG, they kind of were a bit ticked off after they lost to EG. Yikes. But Crashies, Victor, they did a great job. Quick also doing a good job of Furia, but just wasn't enough. Blind 13-9 for NRG and 13-10 on Haven for the side of NRG. What more do I really have to say other than NRG kind of destroyed them? Well, Blind was... I mean, to be fair, it was a pretty close game. It's just that NRG was heavily favored in this matchup. And Ace from Quick was not enough for NRG. Also, I should say for Furia. And even a 1v3 clutch as well from Khalil. But 2 1v3 clutches for, well, 1 each for Artist and Finesse. So, not really good for Furia. And Leviathan, they also went home early as well, as they got 2-1 by Cloud9. And Jake, oh my god, he showed up in this match. Just like I said, I feel bad for King. He was kind of the only Leviathan player who could actually challenge the other teams. He just... It's just sad to see, King trying his best, just was not enough, sadly. But Jake, he did a phenomenal job. I think he should really be happy. Of how he performed in this match. But 13-8 on Haven for C9, and 13-10 on Lotus for side Leviathan, 13-4 on Ascent for side C9. Pretty sure Haven, Lotus, both of them were like really good matches with Jake. That's really all I can really say though. A 4K from Takalila and even a 1v3 clutch as well from Jake. So Jake, he did well. Lab versus EG. Pretty surprised that EG somehow took a map off. EG took a map off Loud. Really surprised about that. Obviously, this is kind of a repeat of the regular season when EG took a map off Loud. It was looking really good, and then like the final map, they just got blown out of proportion, 13-0'd. This one, I don't really think so. But might be also because Sardak only got 8 kills on Chamber. Yeah, Chamber. You don't see this man out often, don't you? But luckily, he's getting a possible buff in the next patch, so at least you may see maybe some Chamber play, but we'll see. But Demon 1, he tried his best as well. Les and Aspas, they were phenomenal in this match. They were so good. 13-9 on Fracture for the side of Loud, 13-11 on Ascent for the side of EG. This was also Loud's first loss as well on Ascent. So EG, they did well. And then 13-3 on Blind, so it was kind of the same, but luckily they actually won some rounds compared to last time. But yeah, not that great either way from EG. Yeah, that's what I really have to say. Was not great. And there's Sardak on Chamber for some fucking reason. Performance-wise, an ace from Jogimo, 4Ks as well, Lessus and Aspas for Loud, and 1 for Jogimo and 2 from Demon 1, and a 1v3 clutch as well from Com. Cloud9 versus NRG, this was basically the battle of the last spot in Tokyo, and it was NRG taking it. Zelsus, he tried his, he was up and over against everyone else in Cloud9. And so Crashies, obviously he obviously tried his best, it just wasn't enough. Including Auras as well. It's weird to see Auras on KJ still. Luckily, they're not having every single one of their players playing KJ each map. So at least that's good enough. Pearl went to 13-10 for Cloud9, 13-9 on Lotus for the side of NRG, and 14-12 for the side of Haven. Also, well, on Haven for the side of NRG.
So close game. Yeah, Cloud9 it just wasn't enough, and Cloud9 once again they were left heartbroken, which is fair enough because they were hyped so much coming into the playoffs after their second seed, obviously coming second place from the regular season. Mostly behind Loud, it just wasn't enough. But it was there was an ace from Leaf, 4Ks even from Zelsus and Leaf, and as well from Crashes, Artis, and Finesse for the side of NRG, and then 1v and even a 1v2 clutches as well from Crashes and Finesse. Evil Geniuses versus NRG, and NRG they got their revenge against Evil Geniuses, a 3-1 victory for NRG. I'll be honest, EG as a whole, they did not perform well. They were really just gone. They were done. Like, I was surprised about that. They just weren't anywhere. They just were nowhere, really. They were just gone. They were done. Which, yeah, I was a bit surprised about that, but Victor, oh my god, and Som, both of them, they really wanted to win against EG. Which is fair enough. I mean, I think losing to EG kind of... I mean, I'm pretty sure they did actually... They were really upset and pissed off when they lost to Evil Geniuses. But luckily, they got their revenge, so at least that's good enough. Haven, 13-11 for the side of EG. Ascent, 13-8 for NRG. Lotus, 13-10 for NRG. And 13-4 on Split for NRG. So, Split was not close at all. All the other matches, I mean, Ascent was moderately close, but like Haven and Lotus, they were, those games were pretty close. Performance-wise, a bunch of 4Ks. Boostio and Com, both of them got 4Ks. Artis got 4K, Finesse got 4K, Som got 3 4Ks, and there was even a 1v3 clutch as well from Com. NRG advances to the grand final along with Loud, and it was Loud winning that one. This was maybe the most underwhelming Valorant I've ever seen in my life. Not great by NRG. But I mean, at least the chamber worked this time for Sadak. Maybe. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. Loud 3-0 in NRG. Kind of expected just because of how good Loud is, but at the same time, I was expecting that NRG was going to like challenge Loud like closely, well, like at least make it pretty competitively. I mean, like I said, went to 13-9 Loud, 13-11 Loud combined, 13-11 on Fracture 2. It was pretty close. So even though it was a 3-0 victory, it was actually still a pretty close game. It's just that they didn't get enough maps off, but Loud versus NRG, quote unquote, even though it's Optic, but still NRG, it lives on really. Like, it's a good battle. I mean, like Crashies, Victor, and Finesse versus Sadak, Aspas, and Less. It's a good rivalry. Definitely one of the most memorable rivalries in Valorant. I don't know what. Is there even any other rivalries? Maybe like PPRX and DRX, and I don't know. Maybe like back then, like Fnatic versus Sentinels, maybe. I don't know. Actually, I should say Sentinels versus Team Liquid. I should say. Performance-wise, a 1v5 clutch from Kalanzine. That was surprising. An ace as well from Sadak for Loud, and Artis and Som as well for NRG. And 1v4 clutch from Sadak. And a 4K as well from Kalanzine and Less for Loud. And Ardas, Victor, and Finesse as well for full side of NRG. So it was a very back and forth game. Just obviously it obviously, if you just look at it without the stats and stuff, you'll think it wasn't that memorable or a good match, but it was actually a pretty good match for in the grand final in Americas. Obviously, not as much as compared to like Pacific for example, but still it was a pretty close game in the grand final, and Loud was winning the Americas League for the first time in the inaugural season. So have a look at the Pickems now, and I was actually pretty good. I was not expecting EG to do well to make it to Masters Tokyo into champions. So I got 15, 30, oh crap, what's 30, 60, and then we have, oh crap, I can't, 100 points. No, wait, hang on. Hell, 100, 110? Is it 110 points? Yes, it is 110 points. 110 points. That's actually literally my best one. That's my best one. So I'm pretty sure Pacific was the worst, then it was EMEA, then it was Americas. That's pretty good, actually. That's actually pretty good. I'll take that. I'll take that. I'll happily take that. Much better than my Pacific one. Just better than my EMEA Pickems. So that's pretty good for me. So yeah, that's really about it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Catch you guys next time in the next one. Goodbye.